Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Tribe Forex Power Hour. I am Marcello, and with me here is Nino, FX trader or Pro Forex trader with us. Can you say hi, Nino, please?
Hi everyone, how's it going?
Great. It's good to have you on, as always. You guys did an awesome job last week. I just want to acknowledge you for that. And also, guys, if you get an opportunity and you're in the live trade room, definitely send your best wishes out to Nino. I'm surprised he's on the call with us. It's because he's a professional. But his mom just passed away. My condolences, of course, once again, Nino. And thank you very much for being here with me as I go through this call today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I'm just going to go right into it, guys. First of all, we're going to talk about how it works, then we're going to get into our daily market analysis. So how it works is that we do a 5 p.m. market analysis to determine our bias. So that market analysis doesn't happen exactly at 5 p.m. It happens around 5. Right now it's 6 o'clock here Eastern time. So we do a market analysis about 5 p.m. Eastern time to determine our bias. What is our bias? Our bias is the probability that price will move in one direction or the other. So if I have a buy bias, that means that I believe that there's a greater probability that price is going to go up. Sell bias, I believe that price is going to more likely go down. Okay, so how do we trade our biases? We take a set, either take a set and forget it trade, or we day trade in the direction of our bias using our points of decision for bigger profits. Now, if you don't know what that means, simply go to www.tribeforex.com, and it's free to get in. We've got a free training course, if you will. It's a trading course on how to trade bias and how to use pods, points of decision. And of course, guys, the day trading section is actually really exciting. Nino mans that section. For those of you who are on, there will not be a live trading session tonight as Nino's preparing for the ceremonies for his mom's passing. So for that reason, we're not going to have a session tonight. That's Tuesday night, March 3rd. We're not going to be having a session tonight, but we will get back to it most likely on Thursday, most likely. Okay, so with that, having said that, let's go ahead and take a look at the charts. And there's not an awful lot to trade here. Now, most of the time, Nino makes something happen. There's always something good going on. You know, he's able to work with the bias, and when you're that good, you can do that. But what we're going to do today is we're going to tell you pretty much to stay out of most of the market. There's not a lot of clear signals for us. So what happened this weekend, if you will, walking into Sunday, Monday-ish, is that the market essentially, we had a major gap down. Let's talk about the gap down that we had on the euro dollar. So this is where we exited the market on Friday. And this is where we started. 43 pip gap down. Price came within 5 pips or so, 10 pips of closing that gap, and then continued to move down. So what does that mean for us? It means absolutely nothing from where we're standing. Yes, we were right at a Bollinger point of support and resistance. This would have been a perfect place to sell off of if you were in it. We're at a Bollinger's area of support and resistance. We're right back at the highs again. Actually looking at it again and considering the weekly. Now I'm back on the weekly. Okay, so let me do this. Definitely not in the right place. Got an awful lot of lines on my chart. Excuse me for that, guys. I try not to do that. But, all right, so I'm going to go back to my weekly chart, and I'm going to draw in here support and resistance. We got a support area on the weekly that I have not taken into consideration. And we have 2 points that connect here. Usually we like to see 3 for confirmation. So that's one. The other area of support that we can draw here is right under here. So let me go back down to my daily. Let me get rid of some of these trend lines. This can go. This can go. This is the channel that we broke out of. So this is where we're at, guys. So basically we had a major weekly resistance line, above, and that's what we kind of bounced off of. Right, so if I'm going to make my euro dollar smaller, you can see 1, 2, 3 points. We came right back up there, so that is a confirmed resistance trend line there. We came right back up there, and that's rarely, I mean, it intersected with our Bollinger Band, so we should have known something was going to happen there. Now, can we see price go back up and retest the 13800 area? Yeah, sure we can. Of course we can. What are we looking for here, though? Just based off the fact that we had that bounce coming right off of that, and then we did have a very near close of the gap, I think that we have to look for a sell here. And I know that we had talked about it before, Nino, about a buy, but I really didn't consider the flag that we have here, or that we weren't going to take a trade at all. I think is what we said on this pair, that it wasn't a high probability trade. But looking back at it here, reviewing this trade, I really do feel as though there's plenty of room for us to take a sell here and get back down to the 50 EMA. So I'm looking for a sell on the euro dollar. Yeah, we got all the way back up there. We did close the gap, came very close to closing the gap. We're below these trend lines here, and we're sitting right on 61.8. I think there's room for us to go down. And just as far as this flag is concerned, from this green line is our resistance. This blue line underneath is our is going to be our support trend line. There's another support trend line right under there, and we've got plenty of room on the downside for that. So we hit a major weekly, monthly trend line at the top here that I should have taken into consideration, and we should now, and we are now. And so we're going to look for a sell here on the euro dollar in the days to come. We should see a sell unless we're going to see a breakout. And so there's got to be major news that's going to give us a breakout on the euro dollar to the upside. So we're going to be looking for a sell on the euro dollar. That's where I feel that we are right now. So sell on euro dollar. Dollar Swiss looks like a buy, guys, and now that confirms my buy. We actually really came into contact with a really strong area, a trend line here. So I'm going to look for a buy here on the dollar Swiss. Okay, nice bounce off the trend line here at the bottom and a push up. We've got 38 pips to the push up here, but it can also push back up into this channel here, back to the resistance area back at 89.78, and that's the dollar Swiss. So sell on the euro dollar, buy on the dollar Swiss. Pound dollar, guys, is we were forgetting there for a second, but the pound dollar was already in a channel, okay, as Nino and I were talking about earlier. So this is our channel, so lower and upper channels, and we hit the peak of that channel already, and we were making our way down. Let's not forget about that channel. So where are we at? I think that we're actually at an area of support here on this pound dollar, and so that support area is actually telling us that price more likely than not will go up. So this is, for us, this is ambiguous because we got the support area, but we also have a potential continuation to the downside. We just passed through a support area, another support area, and we did bounce off of another support area. We passed through a Fibonacci's area as well. So these pretty much cancel each other out. So we've got ambiguity as far as the pound dollar is concerned. But let us not forget for the days to come that we could be looking for a sell on the pound dollar as we have stayed within this channel, up, down, meander, back up again, all the way down to the bottom of the channel, back up to the top of the channel. At some point, we will find our ways back to the bottom of that channel, most likely, according to probabilities. So that's what we're looking for. We have no call on the pound dollar at this juncture. New Zealand dollar, sell. I said this before. New Zealand dollar, I was telling him that this was the highest probability trade that we probably have, and that's a New Zealand dollar sell. We really have a very strong weekly trend line here on this New Zealand dollar, very strong support area, resistance area. And the resistance gave us a nice, it was a previous high, number one. Number two, it also gave us a very, very nice hammer formation here. And we did have a gap down, a gap that was filled. And so now we have an opportunity for a push down here again, at least to, and we don't have anything in our way to stop us here until 83.22. So there's a good, nice 40 pip drop here from where from current levels down on the New Zealand dollar for us to look at. So that's probably the clearest signal that we do have. So I have a sell on the euro dollar, a buy on the dollar Swiss, no call on the pound dollar, and the New Zealand dollar is a sell. Aussie dollar is, this is going to be an interesting one because we do have support areas. We did have a gap below it that did come barely above it. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. And yeah, we can see a buy that'll take us all the way back up to the high. We could see it back to 89.89, but to be honest with you, I don't really have a clear call on this Aussie dollar, and so I'm not gonna call anything on it for the time being. Same thing with the dollar CAD, not a clear call. Euro yen, I could see a buy on the euro yen here just because we have 1, 2, 3 touches that confirm this area of support, and we can see a buy right back into 139.88, which is only 50 or so pips away. But guys, we've only had about 100 pip range here on the euro yen in the last trading day. So in our last trading day, we had a low of 139.14 and a high of 140.06. Okay, so that was 92 pips. That doesn't say an awful lot. Didn't give us an awful lot to work with there. So you know, this 50 pip move or 60 pip move or whatever we're looking for, down from where we are, because the trend line is currently at 139.19, and the area of support and resistance is at 139.89. So that's 80 pips. So we can, 70 pips. So that's plenty of space for us to get as far as the euro yen is concerned, if it's going to stay in this holding pattern. So we could have a buy there just because of the support areas. That's what we do have, support on the euro yen. So we're looking for a buy there. Dollar yen is not clear. Pound yen is not quite clear either. We're kind of on support and resistance. 50 EMA, we're just below it, and then the 50% fib area, and then 50 EMA, we're right on it. So we could see a retracement here on pound yen. It's just right in the dead zone. It doesn't really tell us much, so we're not going to call anything there. Oil did finally have a breakout of this trend line here, this resistance trend line, broke out in a very convincing fashion as it moved straight up, gapped up, didn't close the gap, and then closed very, very strongly upward. So that is what's happened on oil. Nice breakout there. And like I said, this euro dollar, even looking at this 4-hour, we're right on the 50 EMA, so we could see some retracement and then a further move down thereafter. So we'll see what happens there. But let's not forget, the reason why I'm calling a sell on the euro dollar is because we have this very strong area of support and resistance, if I can find it. Yeah, that is held for weeks and weeks and weeks, months and months and months. That was touched, tested, and then we were rejected. Our price was rejected and began to move down. So once again, euro dollar is a sell. Dollar Swiss is a buy. Pound dollar no call. New Zealand dollar sell. Aussie dollar no call. Dollar CAD no call. Euro yen is a buy. Dollar yen is no call here. Pound yen is once again no call there. So we do have the euro dollar, dollar Swiss, and the New Zealand dollar that could potentially be tradable in our next session. We have biases on those. Guys, with that having been said, we wish you all the best in your trading. Like I said, once again, Nino will not be doing his sessions tonight. So usually from Tuesdays and Thursdays, we meet at 1 a.m. Eastern Time to trade the European session. And then once again, we trade the New York session at about 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so we're not going to be doing that tonight. We shall return potentially on Thursday. Everything goes well with his arrangements. He very well will be back here on Thursday at 1 a.m. Eastern Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Time to trade both the European and the New York session. And I think that's about it. Do you want to add anything there, Nino, or did I cover everything?
We covered everything. Good analysis.
Great, thank you. All right, with that, guys, I look forward to seeing you. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, potentially. Wishing you all the best. Once again, our condolences, Nino, and we thank you very much for being here and for really being a man of your word and continuing to do what you do for all of our Tribe Forex supporters, our Tribe Forex family. And I definitely appreciate you being there as a friend and also an associate of mine. We'll talk to you guys soon. All the best. Bye-bye.